Hello everyone, this is Highlander from MTG Cardsmith, doing another custom Magic the Gathering card review. I'm Batman. And today we're reviewing a card by FireOfGolden. This is another one of his little figure drawings. Got a little guy with a pencil here and lots of paper flying around. Doesn't have a face. He's holding a piece of paper, I guess, is what's going on there. Okay. So this is called Creator the Moody. This is a 6-mana Planeswalker with 6 starting loyalty. When a figure enters the battlefield, put a loyalty counter on Creator. Can be your commander. Okay, so I recommend. Okay, so this is part of a series of planeswalkers that all kind of fit. They kind of have the abilities with the same costs, and they're all like these like pencil drawings. So I recommend you start at Guiman the Failed Wizard and Heiju the Feared Inkling. I'm gonna put these all in a playlist, so you'll be able to watch them in order. But yeah, I say a lot of things in those first two videos that I'm not going to repeat, basically. So, or I'll tell you what, I'll link them in the description, maybe, or something. So anyway, let's take a look at this guy. So this guy, okay, so when a figure enters the battlefield, put a loyalty counter on him. Okay, -1. Search your library for a creature, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. So -1, tutor for any creature. Okay, that's very strong. -X. Put up to X creatures from your graveyard into your hand. You may put creature with X or less mana value onto the battlefield. Oh, wow. Okay, so 6 mana, 6 loyalty. Okay, so one version of this is you tutor for creatures over and over. And if you tutor for figures, you get to use this repeatedly. I mean, assuming your Planeswalker doesn't get attacked, you can tutor for 6 cards with this. That's really strong. I mean, okay, so for contrast, let's take a look at the first Liliana they ever printed. Liliana Vess. -2, search your library for a card, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. So this tutors for -2 for any card, but you don't get the card in your hand. You put it on top of your library, which means you're not gaining any card advantage off of it. Okay, so we can compare that to this, which is search your library for a creature you put in your hand. So you get to use the card immediately, basically. You get to find whatever creature you need and can cast, and you just put it in your hand, right? I mean, I guess not the turn you play this guy, but still. And again, if you're getting figures, you can just do this forever, essentially. Just over and over and over again. The perfect figure every time. I don't think that's particularly the best design, to be honest. Like, okay, part of the fun of Magic is how the games tend to play out differently. Okay? And once you get into realms like this, where you're able to repeatedly look for a creature, or something like that, the games will start to play out the same every time, right? So, like, for example, either you have some sort of combo, like maybe you're playing Melira combo or something. Okay, so for those that aren't familiar with Melira, Sylvic Outcast, she basically says creatures you control can't have -1/-1 counters placed on them. Okay, and you can usually combo that with a persist creature like Redcap, whatever his name is, Redcap, Murderous Redcap. So Murderous Redcap, when it enters the battlefield, deals damage equal to its power to any target, and has persist. When this creature dies, if it had no -1/-1 counters on it, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a -1/-1 counter on it. So if you combine this with Melira, who says you can't put -1/-1 counters on creatures, this basically every time it dies, it comes back. So basically Melira, this guy in a sacrifice outlet, you get to win the game. You deal infinite damage, essentially, as long as they don't, interact with your combo. So a card like I think people used to play this in like a birthing pod type decks. But yeah, so with this, you basically get to set up any. I mean, even easier combo to do. I don't know why I did that second, but even easier combo is Pestermite. So 2/1 flash flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may tap or untap target permanent. And Kiki-Jiki, which says, has haste, tap, create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature. That token gains haste, sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. So play Pestermite, play Kiki-Jiki, create a copy of Pestermite. Pestermite untaps Kiki-Jiki, create another token that's a copy of Pestermite. That Pestermite untaps Kiki-Jiki. You can make infinity Pestermites with haste, and you just win the game on the spot. So this lets you just set up any creature combos you want, essentially, over the course of a couple turns. Which is not particularly fun. That's not really how you want your games of Magic to play out. I mean, this is part of the reason why they banned... what's the name of that card? Once Upon a Time. So Once Upon a Time says, if this is the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So you can see this is banned in multiple formats. It's legal in Commander, which makes sense. It's a singleton format. But the reason they banned this card is not necessarily because it's too powerful, but because it made the games play out the same every time. If you play 4 copies of Once Upon a Time, there's a high chance you get it in your opening hand, and you get to cast for free, and you basically get to sort of find the cards you need more often. It's sort of the same reason that the cards like Preordain are banned. Preordain. I mean, this card looks pretty innocuous. Scry 2, draw a card, right? But this card is just too good for the rate, and so it just makes it too easy to find the cards you need, right? And that's why this card is not legal. It's banned in Modern. I mean, it's legal in the old formats, and they do, in Legacy and Vintage, they play 4 of these in a lot of decks because of that. So I'm actually surprised it's legal in Pauper. But whatever. Again, Commander doesn't matter because it's a singleton format. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is when it's too easy to get what you want, your games will always play out the same. And even if it's not overpowered, which in this case it is, it will make the games not fun because your games will always play out the same. Okay? All right, -X. Put up to X creatures from your graveyard into your hand. You may put a creature with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield. Also very strong. So I actually don't mind the second part of this, but putting up to X creatures from your graveyard into your hand is very strong on a Planeswalker that comes in with 6 loyalty. Like, you can basically play this guy and draw 6 cards. If you have 6 creatures in your graveyard, 6 mana, draw 6 cards. I mean, and it's not even draw 6. It's get 6 cards of your choice that are in your graveyard. That's also too strong. So yeah, I think this card is, it just does a lot of bad things. It does a lot of, so the first ability I think is both overpowered and unfun, and the second ability is just overpowered. So I can't say I'm a big fan of Creator, and I don't see why he's Moody. I mean, he's overpowered. So, yeah, so let's see, suggestions. What can we do to suggest some fixes for this? So what I might do is I might put this return clause up here by itself. So it would just say like, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Just that. Okay, that's already pretty good. It's kind of like draw a card. It's a little different, but it's similar, right? -1 draw a card, that would be good. So -1 get a creature back from your graveyard. That's good. Especially since figures entering the battlefield give him loyalty. So if you're getting figures back, this is essentially free. You get to keep getting creatures back. And then the -X, you could say just put a creature with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield. So, you know, you can go 6 mana, put a... Well, that's kind of pointless, though. You could have just cast your creature at that point. So maybe not. Maybe not that. But maybe what you could do is like -X. I mean, you could maybe do like a -X, search your library for a creature with mana value X or less, and put it into your hand, or something like that. Or you could even just say like mill X. Like that might be kind of interesting. Because then it's like, okay, so mills, he mills cards. Maybe like mill twice X or something. And then you can use this ability to get creatures from your graveyard into your hand. So it's, you know, he sort of helps you find creatures. And the milling makes him seem a little more moody, because milling usually is synonymous with, you know, going crazy or something like that. Or, you know, poor mental health, I guess. I guess my other criticism of this card is it seems very much like a green card, not a... It's strange that it's colorless. These are both basically very green effects, so it seems strange to make this a colorless card. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of Creator of the Moody. I think I have to give a 4 out of 10 on this one. You know, formatting issues, art, which I talked about in the other videos, and I just think that the abilities are both too strong and unfun. So. Yeah, 4 out of 10 for Creator of the Moody. All right, thank you guys for watching.